Potential bearish divergence. Do we get a reversal or do we continue to moon? Hello Adrian and welcome back to another episode of the Dang Oracle. It is 7:30 p.m. and my time zone is UTC +8, and welcome everybody who is watching around the world. Hope you are doing well on this beautiful Wednesday. We're midweek, we're Wednesday. So first of all, let me say hello to the Dang Oracle hardcore crew. Hi Nikolai, hi Clancy, hi Ahmed, hi Gita. Hope everybody is doing well. So while everybody is trickling in from the hardcore crew, let's take a look on some COVID numbers. If anything has changed there, most likely not. Most likely it's pretty much the same as the Bitcoin, to be honest. It has been so crazy. It has been so amazing. Watching the Bitcoin chart has been like watching paint dry. But anyways, before we go into all of that, let's see. United States, we are close to 3.5 million cases right now, and Brazil is nearing the 2 million, and India as well nearing the 1 million cases. So not great. On the global chart, let's take a look. Hi Moncall. On the global chart, we are now over 13 million. I saw 13 million. It's refreshing. Yeah, we are at 13.3 million cases right now. Still no changes in the top 6. Things are looking pretty bad everywhere in the top 6 countries. So yeah, nothing that much to be saying. Yes, Link has been very interesting, right? So maybe let's, because there's very little to be updating on all the rest, to be honest. All the rest has been so I mean, Bitcoin has been like the most boring thing. Hi Jeremy. Boring thing ever. But other stuff like traditional markets and of course Link has been a lot more exciting. So let's go into Link, right? So this is what we're seeing on Link right now. So one thing that is potential bearish divergence on the daily, right? So let me show you here. So we have potential if we don't make a higher high, as you can see here, from this point to basically this top that we currently are currently having. We can clearly see that we have potential bearish divergence here on the spot here. Yeah, sorry. You cannot see it very clearly, but it's potentially there, except of course if hi Zaldi, hi Darren, except of course if we make a higher high, then of course that bearish divergence might get negated, right? So interesting spot for Link, but yeah, it's yeah, I do think, like I said, that 8.5 area, $8.5 is, for me, is most likely a top. But it yeah, just looking at the 4 hours, it still looks quite strong, as you can see. Maybe we get a higher high, but or a double top formation, that could be possible as well, right? We could get something like this and then breaking down towards the downside. But Link has surprised many people before, so it still looks very, very strong, right? Going back after this dump towards the EMA 21 and going back up yeah, it still looks really good. And RSI here, let's see if we have on the 4 hour. Let's see, 4 hour, yeah, a 4 hour divergence is very strong here. See, you can see here from this point to this point. Then we can see the RSI from this point to this point is some very strong bearish divergence on the 4 hour, but it has not, as you can see, it has not affected the price that much. But as you know, if we start confirming bearish divergence on the daily, then of course things will go down a little bit quicker and sooner, of course. So maybe a couple of zones or areas that we might be targeting in the long and the short run for Link. Of course, if we do get a reversal, the first area that it usually goes back to is the 10 simple moving average, or this area here, or the 6.7 dollars there. That would be the first sign of a reversal, right? But first it needs to be breaking the $7 support zone before it gets there. So before we can call it a reversal, that has to be breaking first. We have to confirm a local top, right? So right now we only have potential bearish divergence. It is not confirmed just yet. If we get a higher high today, then the bearish divergence is avoided, and then it's up to the next one, right? It's up to the next one. But yeah, like I said, tricky spot right now, and definitely with the stock markets showing that a potential reversal is on hand right now, right? Why do I say that? Well, because well, we basically look at the poster boy for the traditional markets, which is of course Tesla. Let's take a look on Tesla, and that really looks like a reversal pattern right here on the daily and also on the weekly. To be honest, as you can see here, it's starting to form a big red candle, and also we're hanging around that area right now, right? So maybe let's make some lines or some areas for Tesla where we can see. So right now I would say the range would be, of course, this previous body top here. If we close anywhere below 1650 for the weekly, so that's basically the most important key area for me right now. If we close below 1650, most likely the top is in for Tesla. And like I said, Tesla is like the poster boy for the traditional market, so I do think that everything else is going to be affected because of that. And of course, the first drop to the area is the 10 simple moving average, which is right now at 1350. So this is the area that we're looking at, and as you can see here, very confluent zone as well with the previous order block, or the previous block where we broke out from, right? So we can make a nice a block there, right? We can make a nice area here, a nice box there, and a nice box on this top here. So up, there you go, there we go. And then maybe let's go into the 4-hour chart so we can see things a little bit clearer. Okay, so very confluent zone, because of course on the 4-hour we can clearly see that's also the EMA 21 at 1363. So two things, right? I don't think that we immediately will be breaking structure or something like that. But if, for example, we are how many days? Yes, Wednesday, right? So Thursday and Friday, so we have like 2 more days, right? So if in the next 2 more days, most likely what we'll be seeing is some ranging in between those two boxes. That's what I'm thinking. So either we take another spike up here, or we make a spike here. It's basically ranging in between those two green boxes, right? Right now the ranges are very tight. Actually, you can clearly see we have the top here at 1550 and the bottom here at 1475, right? So I do think that we're gonna go pretty much sideways for the next couple of days. But like I said, if we do put in a top and if we close the weekly below, let's say below this green box here, most likely the top is in, and then most likely we'll be heading back down towards 1350-ish area for the first bounce. But if that was the top, of course the retracement is going to be a lot stronger, and I do believe that most likely what I'm looking at is most likely this gap here in between 1134 to 1180 is most likely going to be filled over the matter of time, right? So I'm not saying that we immediately will be getting there. We'll get bounces along the way, but that should be a target area that I'll be looking at to be that gap to be filled. So I'll put a green box here, because that would be a very interesting spot, most likely for me to be entering the market at that point if things look okay, right? But that would be the retracement that I'll be looking at for Tesla, right? Definitely possible, Planet. Definitely possible. But like I said, we have to be very careful right now at this point in time, because if the poster boys like Tesla, like Microsoft, like Apple, and so on, start to showing some form of retracement towards the downside, then we have to be very, very careful, because all the other markets are going to be following, right? So I'm just putting down some key areas to be looking at for the next couple of days, because this is a very interesting spot for basically making a lot of money on the traditional markets, to be honest. Because if we do get a reversal pattern, then we have an opportunity of a lifetime to be shorting the market, right? Because like I'm going to show next on NASDAQ, we have potential weekly bearish divergence. So that's quite a substantial opportunity for a trader. But so yeah, that's basically what I'm looking at for Tesla right now. Most likely we'll be going mainly sideways for the next couple of days, but I want to be seeing basically if we do close below the 10 simple moving average on this 4 hour here. I mean below this previous high here at 1550 previous daily candle here. But most likely we'll be ranging here, but I do believe that touch towards the 13.6 is 60 is very likely in the cards, right? So yeah, let's go into NASDAQ here. I think we've briefly mentioned it yesterday, right? So if we are looking on NASDAQ chart, we can clearly see that we have potential bearish divergence on the weekly, and that's that's very substantial. So basically from this point here to this point, if once again it's not confirmed yet, we can only confirm it next week, basically, because you know the weekly candle has not closed just yet. So this could potentially a bearish divergence as well, and then yeah, most likely we will be seeing, I've already indicated it, back to our where we broke out from our inverse head and shoulders, right? So we will be looking back to like around the 9,000 area for NASDAQ, and that's a serious pullback. So people will be crying for sure. I'm not saying that we won't have bounces along the way. Please do note that that this is very similar to the Bitcoin chart, right? Remember when we had Bitcoin going to 20,000, it didn't go to 6,000 immediately, right? It took a very long period, and that's Bitcoin. So normally, if we are talking about traditional markets, this could potentially take maybe like 3 years or something like that. You know, it's not something that it's going to be going very, very quickly. Normally, I'm saying normally, Bitcoin moves a lot faster than the traditional market. So at like 5 times the speed or something like that. I'm not saying now, because the last couple of 2 weeks, it's the opposite. Traditional markets have been moving at like 5x speed, while Bitcoin is just watching paint dry, basically. But yeah, that's basically what I'm looking at as well. Do we close? Let's see where the weekly close is for NASDAQ, right? Do we see a but like I said yesterday as well, right? A retest and push up from the EMA 21 is very, very normal, right? So that's what we were talking about yesterday. Every time it went back down, it touches the EMA 21, bounce back up, touches the EMA 21, bounce back up, touches the EMA 21, bounce back up, touches the EMA 21, bounce back up. And right now, as you can see, bounce again on the EMA 21 from yesterday. So we did get that retracement, right? We did get retracement, and we have a very strong bullish candle right now towards the upside. But like I said, we have to be seeing if we manage to get a higher high and to avoid that bearish divergence, yes or no. So maybe by next week, by Saturday, basically, when the traditional markets stop with trading, we can see that there's no bearish divergence yet. So this is all potential, but the reason why I'm looking at it is because, like I said, if we do get a reversal from this, if we do see that this 11,000 here is a local top, then the opportunity is quite substantial for traders, right? So that's the reason why I'm looking at very closely. So what are we looking at for the weekly close? Well, basically here, right? So do we close above this body from the previous high? Yes or no? So where the VWAP ratio is at as well. So 10,800, do we close the weekly above it? Yes or no? If not, most likely we will have a pullback down towards this VWAP or the EMA 21 at around 10,333 right now is the yellow line right now. So that's the range that I am looking at right now. So if the Nasdaq just keeps on going sideways here and then drops back down by the end by the weekly close, yeah, then most likely this bearish divergence would be confirmed, and then a lot of opportunity right there to be basically shorting after we see a small bounce once again, because that would most likely be confirming the divergence. So a lot of interesting things right there, right? A lot of interesting that right there. Do we get all the way pull back all the way back to the 9K? Maybe, but there are other very nice support areas, which would be the previous local top here on this where we broke down after the crisis. So this could potentially be a nice order block as well, right? So around the 9,700, well, not that high, maybe like something like more like this 9,600 ish area is a nice area as well for a potential bounce. Or reversal, even could be a reversal as well. But yeah, either way, a nice pullback is definitely in the books if we start confirming all that bearish divergence on the traditional market. Do note that if we are looking at the S&P chart, looks actually quite more bullish than Nasdaq right now. If we are looking at how everything is constructing right now on the S&P, things are actually looking quite good. As you can see here, we are actually nearing the previous top right here. As you can see here, we haven't broken out of it just yet, but also on the other hand, we never created the all-time high. We never broke the all-time high, right? So let me see here, this is the all-time high. So if we do start to be honest, if we are looking at the S&P, if we do start closing above this area here, then yeah, most likely we will have a push all the way up back to this area here, back to that area here. So I'll put a green box there to notify myself, right? So let's put the green in that, put the hole here. So if we start basically closing above this area where we're at right now, so that's quite interesting. If we are at right now, I do believe that we'll most likely take a stab at the previous all-time high for the S&P, right? So that would be this area. And if not, well, of course, a pullback all the way back to the 10 simple moving average, of course, which is right here at this order block here, right? So it would be around 3-1, very confluent as well with everything here right now. Very confluent, as you can see. That would be the area that I would be looking at for a bounce 3-1-12, right? So yes, yeah. To be honest, the highest correlation right now is with the Nasdaq market for Bitcoin. That's the highest correlations right now. But before, it has always been correlated with the S&P the most. So it kind of changed a little bit. So will it keep following the Nasdaq? Will it keep following S&P? You know, it's a tough call. If I'm just looking at purely at the charts for Bitcoin, obviously it looks more like it looks more bearish than anything else. Like I keep saying, the Bitcoin chart has actually been not looking that great. While everything is going to the moon, Bitcoin has been stagnating, as you know, right? For the past 2 months, basically, we've been like, holy macaroni, waiting for something to be, you know, to break out. Like, yeah, it hasn't, right? So while everything keeps going up, you can see here, S&P went up, Nasdaq went up, stocks went up. See, look how powerful everything is going up. Yeah, Bitcoin is not doing. The reason why I'm using the futures, the mini futures, is because it's always open. The market is always open, so it correlates easier. It correlates easier with Bitcoin. But you can use the SPY chart as well, which I do sometimes as well. But the SPY chart is more like the CME chart, right? Where you have like traditional times where it opens, you have like gaps and stuff like that. So it's more like the CME chart, while the futures charts is more like the spot, the spot price basically, right? But yeah, once again, even on the SPY, as you can see, we had a nice pullback, as you can see here, but didn't break any structure, bounced off the EMA 21. Once again, very big green candle, still above all moving averages. So yeah, it still looks very constructive. So if it would be following the, I mean, not confirmed yet, right? So let me be clear, it's not confirmed. Oh wait, let me see if we have any divergences. That would be interesting to see on the S&P. If we have any divergences there, let me check if we have any divergences. That would be interesting to see. Yeah, we do have potential divergence as well if we confirm, once again, the same thing, if we confirm that this is a local top, right? So we do have divergences as well if we don't make a higher high as well. So very similar as well, potential bearish divergence. But like I said, I think to be honest, the most easy or the most convenient way is to be looking at the weekly close for the traditional markets. I think by the next couple of days we'll know what the traditional markets wants to do, and then from that most likely we'll also know what Bitcoin wants to be doing, right? So but right now, yeah, I let's go back to Bitcoin. What happened? Let's put it on the line chart. Look at this. Let's look at it on the line chart. It's just yeah, it absolutely did nothing, right? It absolutely did nothing, right? So what can I say? It's exactly the same. Are we nearing an apex? Yes, we are nearing an apex, but yeah, it's been like that for a while already, right? So yeah, we are nearing an apex. I do believe that we will have some resolution or some movement, most likely this week, right? Most likely this week. But yeah, let's see. I mean, it's been really crazy. Let's move these green boxes a little bit to the right, because maybe we'll need more space in the future. But yeah. Let's talk about the daily close. So yesterday the daily close was below the EMA 21, right? Below the EMA 21. But as you can see, after we hit that was a magical level though, the 9,080. If you have been watching my stream for the, I've told you guys that was the area really that I knew at one point is going to be testing, and it did touch perfectly. Sadly enough, I was not in a long position at that point, but that was a very nice area. Anyways, so right now, yeah, we are still stuck wedged between the EMA 21 and the EMA 55, but yeah, I mean, it's a very similar thing that we've been seeing, right? The EMA, the slope of the EMA 21 is curling slightly, I guess, towards the downside, but overall, yeah, overall we are if we are zooming out, like I said, this whole block here is more grinding all the way on the support line. So you know, it's just how it is. The probabilities that it will be breaking towards the downside is just higher than it's going to be breaking towards the upside. So, right, so I know it's been very boring for the past 2 weeks, and I've been saying the same thing, and it has not broken towards the downside just yet. But yeah, it's basically that's basically it for Bitcoin, right? We have been waiting for it. Right now, let's see where we were gonna close the 4-hour candle, because right now the 4-hour candle looks like it's going to be closing below all moving averages, but as you can see, everything is so tight right now, right? You can see the EMA 21, the EMA 100, and the EMA 55. It's all stuck. It's all stuck there, right? It's all stuck there. We have potentially a bearish cross possible between the EMA 21 and the EMA 55, so that could potentially cause some drop towards the downside. As you can see here, it's very small right now. That it's very tight, the ranges. So the EMA 21 is at 9,242 and 9,238 is the EMA 55. So we potentially have a bearish cross on the 4-hour there, and that could potentially bring us down towards, I would say, back to like the lower 9,000 area. It will not most likely not push it towards the breaking of the price, but you know, the lower 9,000, and then maybe it could trigger the effect, right? It could trigger the effect, but 9,000, yeah, most likely back to this green box area, right? That's basically what this bearish cross potentially could push our price towards to. So in the very short term, once again, that's what I'm expecting, back to around this lower green box, right? The lower green box once again. That's why I'm putting it more to the side because imagine let's say we go back down here and then we bounce back up here, and then maybe we bounce up here, and then we bounce up here, and then maybe we bounce back here, something like that, right? So it could still take a couple of days. That's why I think it is important to be seeing the whole structure here. But in terms of trading and ranges, I do believe that it is a perfect opportunity for a trader. Why am I saying that? Is because the risk is very well defined. Okay, right. So let's go over the zones once again. So if price does break this green box here above 9,300 ish area, I would say 9,310. If we close some candles above 9,310, I do believe that we'll have a move up towards 9,450. If we do break and close candles above 9,450, I do expect us to go all the way up here towards around 9,750 ish area, right? So maybe I'll put this box here also a little bit more towards the right side, so that we can so that we have everything drawn out. So let me remove this one. The green box. Okay, so yeah, definitely possible. So like I said, for people like me who are in the short right now, my risk is very well defined, right? So if price does break above this green box, closest be a candle, 4-hour candle above it, 9,450, and then if this box does break 9,750, that's basically the bullish scenario. And that would be most likely if, for example, the S&P does break towards the upside and we get a nice pump also for the Nasdaq back to maybe like let's say back to this top range here, so 10,850-ish area. If Nasdaq gets back to there, most likely Bitcoin is going to be pushing back to like 10,450 or something like that, right? Does that really help us though to break the macro trend? Like I've explained before, it does not break the macro trend. Only in the short term it does break the price. Let's put it like that. But like I've explained also before, even if price does break back to like the 9 point, if we do break up here and we go back here, as you can see, we would be still technically be trending in between this channel here. Of course, at that point I would be more bullish, because then we would be grinding more towards the upside rather than the downside, right? So now we're just grinding on the downside. Now that's the reason why I'm more bearish than bullish. But if we start grinding on the top side continuously, then of course I'll be more bullish than bearish, right? So but I just want to make sure that you understand the whole logic behind it, that even if we do break towards the 9,700, it has not resolved the macro trend, let's put it like that. The whole structure is not resolved. If we break down, then the structure is resolved, because, and that's the reason why it's actually, well, it's more, I guess, more fun, or more, it's easier if we would be breaking towards the downside, or else if we break towards the upside, we can, we can go sideways and trend for a really long time once again around the 9,500 area or 9,600 area or something like that. So maybe that would frustrate even more a lot of people, right? But anyways, I'm just putting up basically my trading scenarios, right? So right now I'm in a short from 9,350. If you're not aware of that, well, I got into the trade when we pushed up here at this point here. It didn't fill my second target, which was 9,380. I guess got close. I guess missed it by $2, so a little bit sad about that, but can't have it all. Anyways, 9,350 right now. Short. I keep my short, but I will put my stop loss obviously just above this this box here. So in case that the price does close above 9,310, then most likely it will be better to be reshorting at either 9,450. And if that does fail, then I'll be reshorting things above in the top or in the upper area. But to be honest, then of course, if we do break the 9,450, I will switch it into a long. I will not switch into a long from this area to this area. I think that would be a little bit too dangerous to be doing, right? So not in my that would be not be in my plan. Sorry for the spam just now from Rahim. He will get banned in a while. Don't worry. he will get the ban hammer. Anyways, so yeah, let me clear it up one more time. I would be closing my short, obviously, just take a small profit. But I do expect if we do break, if we close above this green box, most likely we'll go to this green box, and who knows what will happen there. But I will not be, so this will be my no trade zone, right? Once again, this would be my no trade zone. So no trading in that zone. If we do break this green box, I will long it towards this upside here. And other than that, well, what am I expecting? But that has been for a really long time already. But well, we are nearing this apex, right? So in the next couple of days, maybe days or weekend. Well, I hope not weekend. That would suck if it happens during the weekend, because then the validity is a lot less as well. But in the next, hopefully in the next couple of days, I do hope that we break down here back to our CN line here, our EMA 100, hopefully for a small bounce, and then eventually finally back to go to our 8.6k area, where I expect another bounce from that area. Do we bounce up from there or not? We will find out, right? But that's basically the whole trading setup, and yeah, everything is covered and everything is planned nicely, right? So there's no way to get wrecked, there's no way to be losing money, and that's the situation that I love to be in as a trader, right? Where you basically are pretty secure of either you have a lot of profits or you have a little bit of profits, right? So that's basically what you should be doing if you are a serious trader. You have to be positioning yourself and being ready for all of those periods. So yeah, that's it for Bitcoin. It's the same thing as as yesterday. It's the same thing as always, right? But yeah, let's take a look on the expected move charts because we have closed the, oh yeah, we did close the 4-hour candle. So maybe let's take a look where we closed it. We did close it now officially below all the moving averages on the downside. The cross is not there just yet, very near, as you can see, 9,239 and 9,237.5. So on the next 4 hour, if the price is below 9,237, we will have the bearish cross, but you know, we can go back up again and then it can negate again, blah blah blah, and so on. So nothing is confirmed just yet there, right? Anyways, let's go to and check on the expected move charts if we can see something happening there. First standard deviation to the top side is 9,300 and first standard deviation to the downside is 9,138. Would that resolve anything? Well, no, that would not resolve anything at all. And as you can see, the slope is exactly to the right hand side. Your favorite way, Nikolai, it is going to the right. It's going to the right. In terms of like momentum, as you can see, the stocks on the 12-hour are still curling towards the downside, and the RSI is still sloping and is still below the EMA as well. And as you can see, the cross up is at 9,243. So yeah, it's just horrible. It's just horrible to be trading Bitcoin right now, to be honest. I mean, in terms of action, it's just really horrible. Let's take a look on the daily. The stocks are still curling towards the downside, so yeah, momentum is really towards the bearish side, but the crack hasn't happened just yet. We are snaking around the EMA as well on the RSI. Let's take a look on the very short term on the 4-hour if we can see something there. If my chart loads, yes, it does load. So let's take a look on the 4-hour. On the 4-hour, yep, the 4-hour is starting to snake and curl a little bit towards the downside already. So yeah, could this be it? You know, could this be it in the next night, something like that, where we make a serious break towards the downside? Maybe. Yeah, and the RSI is below as well. Maybe take a look on the other indicators that we have been watching out on. Let's take a look on the Ichimoku and the Ichimoku. Yeah, okay, this is quite interesting. Of course, now as I've told you yesterday, the Ichimoku did break down and below out of the cloud on the daily, as you can see. And as you can see now, this is the fierce resistance, which is the 9.3K area. So the same lines that we are seeing on the other indicators, right? So this is basically what I'm saying. If we do break the 9,300, then where do we go? Back to this area here, which is the top of the Ichimoku cloud. Where is that? 9,450. If we break up, then we break out of the cloud, and then we're going towards 9.8K. So exactly what the Ichimoku cloud is exactly telling us the same thing as we've been talking about before. The very negative thing. I mean, the information more that we're getting from the Ichimoku cloud is because that we have this structure right here. So we have a Kumo twist, which is on the bearish side, is a red cloud that is being formed. So what does happen is, if we do move sideways, as you can see here, it will get pressure from the red Ichimoku cloud and push the price towards the downside. So technically, the bulls have until end of the month to be pushing the price up and above out of the Ichimoku cloud, or else the pressure from the bears is going to be continuing and pushing the things down. So that's a little bit more information that we're having by using the Ichimoku cloud. Just taking a look on the ADX. Yes, we do have divergence, as you can see, between the red line and the green line, as you can see. But the problem is the ADX is below 20, so it's at 17.5, which means the momentum is just insanely weak. But yes, the bears have more power than the bulls right now. But yeah, very low momentum. So what does it mean, right? That it's just it's just a waiting game. Let's take a look on the Hearst. Oh no, I just wanted to see this. The RSI stoke is now starting to curl below the EMA on the daily, so that does confirm more bearish pressure as well. MACD is still minus 19, but the slope is a little bit now towards the downside as well. So as you can see, slowly more bearish pressure towards the downside as well, which is also being confirmed by the MACD. But yeah, I mean, nothing other than nothing really confirmed, and everything is super slow, right? What I wanted to show is the Hearst. Where is my Hearst? Where are you? Yeah, here's my Hearst cycle. Hearst cycle is saying that bottom of the of the cycle is 9,075. which is pretty much where we bounced off the last time. And the oscillator, as you can see, still in the bearish zone right now, right? Yeah, the bearish zone. Is the alligator indicator any good? Yeah, the alligator is a cool indicator as well. I use it also sometimes, but yeah, like any indicator, most of the stuff that is being told by the indicator is pretty much the same thing. After a while, you'll figure it out that everything is very similar. Let's put it like that. But yeah, so yeah. Other than that, very little to be updating, right? Very little to be updating. We have our plan, we have our structure, we have everything ready, but price action is not it's currently just not it's not doing what we want to be doing. So that's the reason why I'm more and more interested in the traditional markets right now than anything else. To be honest, I really want to know if Tesla or is going to be making that push. So I'm very, I mean, I sold my Tesla, so it would really suck if Tesla goes to like 2,000 or 2,500 or something like that. Then it would suck. But you can't be greedy, right? You cannot be too greedy. Let's put it like that. Let's put it back on Chainlink, just to be seeing. Oh, Chainlink is still it's not moving, but it's still all the way up there, right? Still all the way up there. Do we see anything else on yeah, nothing really on Chainlink. Anyways, so yeah, like I said, potential, that's the key word. The key word is potential bearish divergence on basically everything, right? On basically everything. So be very careful, out there. I think these are the times that you have to be very careful, because if the traditional markets do make that pullback, I know all the moon boys want to be hearing the positive message. Is it possible that we still move up one more leg towards like 9.7, 9.8? Very possible. If, for example, like I said, if this S&P makes that move towards the all-time high, the previous all-time high, maybe we'll get that push as well on Bitcoin, right? But that does not resolve the whole macro structure, right? So be very careful, when because I truly believe that if we go back to like 9.8k or something like that, everybody in the whole world is going to be super bullish, super FOMO, and everybody saying like, oh yes, we're going to the moon now. Like I said, it is possible that we can go back there, but it does not resolve the macro structure, right? The macro structure does not get resolved by moving back to 9.7 or 9.8k. So just bear that in mind. Not trying to be negative or anything like that. Like I said, I do hope that we get, we break 10.5k and we go to 11.5k and 14k and so on, and everybody gets Lambos. I hope that I really hope that for Bitcoin, but like I said, I don't trade on my emotions or my opinion. I trade on technical analysis, and right now, if you are grinding continuously on the support zone, that means bearish, not bullish, right? So you can't be bullish if you keep touching the support zone continuously. Has it broken just yet? No, it has not broken yet. Is there still opportunity that we can break towards the upside? Sure, there's always opportunity. There's always a percentage of chance, but if you're talking about probabilities, and that's what we're doing as a trader, probability is just higher towards the downside. So I'll be positioning myself towards the downside, but like I said, the whole plan is right there already. If we do break above the 9.450, I'll be switching it into a long and scalp it towards the upside. There's a no trade zone in between here because the ranges are way too tight here in between. It could just wick up and then break back down, for example. So I'm not going to take any positions in between these two green boxes here. But other than that, I think it's very simple to be trading right now, waiting it out. Does this green box break? Most likely we'll go to this box, then we'll figure it out. If we break this green box, start closing. Closing is the key, because as you can see here, wick, no closing. Closing, if we do close below this green box here, hold your short, because we are going for a ride towards the downside. So yeah, that's basically it. Hope to see you again, and hopefully we get a little bit more action tomorrow. But keep an eye on traditional markets. I think tonight might be a good night to be checking out traditional markets more than Bitcoin. I don't think Bitcoin is going to be moving, to be honest. Maybe for another 1 or 2 days or something like that, and then at the close, then we'll figure it out, right? Why shorting is riskier? Well, shorting is riskier because technically everything is built to be the whole structure of the stock market, the trading system is built for price to be going up, not for price to be going down. That's the reason why shorting is a little bit riskier than longing, right? And also when you're longing, the value of the asset increases as well, so you're actually making higher profit in terms if you are converting it immediately into fiat than when you are shorting, right? So that's also the case. But yeah, price is supposed to be going up, and that kind of makes sense, right? Because we are talking about an asset that is very limited, right? You have a limited amount of supply. So if you have a limited amount of supply, how can the price be going down? Only when it gets panicked and sold towards the downside. Other than that, it should be going up in value if it has value. That's basically why shorting is a little bit more riskier, right? But shorting is the only way to be hedging in terms when it comes to a market that has such high volatility. All right, I guess that's it for me today. A little bit, once again, maybe a little bit of a shorter video, but yeah, well, I can't magically produce more action if there is absolutely no action. I would be looking at a Link, because Link is the poster boy right now. If Link does make that reversal to the downside, I would be very careful, and I'll be looking at Tesla to cry if it does break all-time high. But if not, I'll be very happy, and I'll be pounding my chest that I made the right sell on the top. All right, see you guys tomorrow, same time, same place. Please like, share, comment, and do whatever you want with this channel. And until tomorrow, please stay home, stay safe, and of course,